All right, so the election is tomorrow. Today is November 2nd. Actually, it's November 3rd where I am already. I am in Thailand right now. But the election is tomorrow, and I am going to give my final prediction on the US election. This is how I believe things will play out, and I am very, very confident in my predictions. Okay, so let's start with the easiest states to call. These are the ones that are almost certainly going to go for Joe Biden early on election night. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, they are all going for Joe Biden. And I think it's going to be relatively easy. I mean, who knows? It could be nip and tuck. But I believe Iowa will be called for Donald Trump on election night. Now, here is a big one. All right. And I'm basing my prediction on Florida on a number of things. All right. When early voting started in Florida, Biden was ahead by about 4 or 5 points in Florida. And even though the polls have closed recently, where it's basically a toss-up in Florida, or Biden is up by 1 or 2 points in Florida, I am going to predict that those early votes, which are going to be counted right away in Florida, I don't think that Donald Trump will ever win in Florida. I don't think that he'll win once the vote begins. I don't believe that he'll win once he catches up a bit from the election day vote. So I believe that Joe Biden is going to win Florida. I think that the media will probably call Florida for Joe Biden around 9 p.m. and that the election will basically be over at 9 p.m. So all of these things about like tied elections and, oh, we're going to take it to the courts in Pennsylvania, is not going to be necessary because Florida is going to go for Joe Biden. I believe Georgia is also going to go for Biden based upon the huge voter turnout and based upon the minority vote in Georgia. I believe Georgia is going to go for Biden. I believe Texas is probably going to go for Donald Trump. Although I actually bet a friend some money that Biden was going to win Texas about a month ago. Turns out, okay, I'm probably going to be wrong and Donald Trump is going to win Texas, but who knows? We will see tomorrow. I think Joe Biden is going to narrowly win in Arizona thanks to the Latino vote and thanks to a lot of the moderate Republican vote. Those moderate Republicans supported John McCain for many years. I think they remember how badly Trump insulted John McCain, and I think that they're going to turn out and they're going to give Biden a victory here. I'm going to make these kind of light blue because they will be very close. Now, would I be surprised if Donald Trump won Florida? I would not be surprised at all if he won Florida. But I don't think at any time he's ever going to be ahead in Florida. So this is my prediction. North Carolina is going to be really, really close. But Joe Biden is also going to win North Carolina. So, with Joe Biden winning 3 states below the Mason-Dixon line over here, I think that this election is going to be a landslide victory for Joe Biden. Coming on over to Ohio, I think Ohio was going to get this election wrong. I think that they are going to give Donald Trump a narrow win in Ohio. And for the first time in a while, Ohio is going to vote against the actual winner of the election. And Pennsylvania. Okay, Pennsylvania, if you take away the Trafalgar polls and some of the more right-leaning polls, Pennsylvania has never actually been close. Right now, it stands about 5 points if you factor in the more legitimate polls. But even if you factor in the Trafalgars of the world, Joe Biden still leads by 4 points in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania isn't as close as people think it is. And I think Pennsylvania is going to go for Joe Biden. Now, in this scenario I laid out, even if by some miracle I was wrong, actually, let me change these a little bit to be, okay, Michigan, these are all going to be very close. And Donald Trump were to win Pennsylvania, it doesn't help him much because I'm predicting he's going to have a huge landslide in the Sun Belt, a huge landslide over here in Dixie, compared to any other Democrat in recent memory. So it doesn't really matter what happens in Pennsylvania per se, but I believe that Joe Biden is also going to win Pennsylvania, and he is going to carry the election 350 electoral votes to Donald Trump's. That isn't quite correct because Donald Trump will win the second. Biden will win these two. So yeah, Donald Trump will lose 188 to 350. Joe Biden will become the next president of the United States. I am willing to bet everything I own. So if there's anyone who plays a wager on Donald Trump, now is your last chance. I also do believe that Nebraska's second is going to go for Joe Biden. Okay, so that could become important because let's imagine that I'm wrong about my optimistic prediction in the South. And let's imagine that Donald Trump does win Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina. In this scenario, if Donald Trump were to also win Pennsylvania, the race becomes very, very, very tricky for Joe Biden to win. Joe Biden would need to win Arizona, and he needs to win Nebraska second. So now Nebraska second can become very important because if Trump were to win Nebraska second, the race would be tied 269 to 269. And a tie goes for Donald Trump in this election because the House of Representatives would break the tie, but they do so by delegation. So they'll do so by the number of states. So since Donald Trump has more states won in this scenario, the House of Representatives would elect Donald Trump as president of the United States in this scenario of a tie. Now, for Donald Trump to win outright and lose Nebraska second, he would have to win Arizona too. So he has to win some sort of combination. So it's like he can't lose Pennsylvania because it doesn't matter. Because if he loses Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, Joe Biden is president, right? So Donald Trump would have to win Pennsylvania and Arizona to become president. Or even if he lost Arizona, he would have to win Nebraska's second. And that explains Donald Trump's schedule because he actually spoke in Nebraska recently. And I'm sure a lot of people were wondering, like, why is he in Nebraska since Nebraska is going to clearly go for Donald Trump? Well, he was there specifically for that second district there. Because in this scenario, Donald Trump will lose the election by one electoral vote. If he lost Nebraska's second and lost Arizona, even if he wins Pennsylvania, he would lose by one electoral vote. And that explains Donald Trump's schedule and why he made a trip to Nebraska recently. Okay, but this is not my prediction. This is not what I think is going to happen. I think that Pennsylvania will go for Joe Biden. Florida will go for Biden. North Carolina will go for Biden. Georgia is going to go for Biden narrowly. It's going to narrowly go for Biden, but I think Georgia will go for Biden. I think Trump will win Texas by a very narrow margin. And I believe Biden will win Arizona. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, they won't even be close. Biden is going to win very easily in those three states. And Pennsylvania, it may be closer than we think. We probably won't even know the results from Pennsylvania on election night because they won't count the mail-in votes until we will probably know around Friday or this weekend who won in Pennsylvania. When the dust settles in Pennsylvania, not because it's close necessarily, but just because of how they'll be counting the votes in Pennsylvania. But after they finish counting all the votes, I believe Joe Biden will win. But even on election night, this will still be up for grabs. It won't matter because on election night, when they finally call the race for Joe Biden, Biden will be ahead 330 electoral votes to Trump's 188. And right around Friday or so, they'll be able to go ahead and call Pennsylvania for Biden. And Biden will win 350 to Trump's 188. Please leave a comment below, like, share, subscribe. If you disagree with my prediction, please tell me why. Tell me, what do you think I'm getting wrong? Tell me your prediction for election night. Please comment below. Let's have a little conversation. And yeah, until next time, this is my final prediction for 2020.